Have you ever felt like the extra in your own family's story? Like everyone else gets the love, the attention, the opportunities, and you're just there to clean up the mess? Yeah, because a year ago, that was my life. And if someone had asked me back then what betrayal felt like, I probably would have given some simple answer. Maybe a cheating partner. Maybe a fake friend who stabbed you in the back. But what I learned the hard way is this. The deepest betrayal doesn't come from strangers. It comes from the people who raised you. The same people who once held your hand when you were a kid. The same people who called themselves your family. So let me ask you something. What would you do if your own parents used your name, your identity, and your life just to make their own lives comfortable? And what if the day you finally stood up for yourself, it happened in front of 40 guests holding champagne glasses? Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me. My name is Evelyn Carter. I'm 31 years old. And 6 months ago, I walked into my parents' New Year's party and shattered the perfect image they had spent 30 years building. But to understand why I did that, we have to go back. Way back. It was December. A cold, gray morning where everything felt a little heavier than usual. I was sitting at the kitchen table with my laptop, trying to finish a freelance accounting report. The house was quiet, except for the ticking clock and the soft breathing of my dog Daisy lying next to my chair. Daisy had been with me for 11 years. She was the only living being in that house that ever made me feel like I actually mattered. My mom walked in without knocking. She never knocked. She dropped a piece of paper on the table like it was just a grocery list. "We're leaving tomorrow," she said. I looked up. "Leaving where?" "Aspen," she replied casually, while adjusting her scarf in the mirror. "Your father booked the ski trip weeks ago." Then she tapped the paper. "Here's what you need to take care of while we're gone." I looked down. Water the plants, feed Daisy twice a day, pick up the dry cleaning, bring in packages, shovel snow if it piles up. I blinked. "Wait," I said slowly. "What time should I pack?" She looked at me like I had spoken another language. "Pack?" "For Aspen." Her laugh was short and sharp. "Oh, honey, someone has to stay here." That someone was always me. My younger brother Jake was upstairs bragging on FaceTime to his girlfriend about the ski resort. Jake had everything. Private college, a brand new Tesla for graduation, a downtown apartment paid for by my parents. Meanwhile, I had the basement. No windows, concrete walls, a mattress that creaked every time I turned over. My mom adjusted her coat. "You wouldn't like skiing anyway," she said. I had never even tried it. But apparently she already knew I wouldn't enjoy it. That night, something inside me cracked. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly. Like glass finally giving up after years of pressure. I was sitting on my bed when my laptop pinged. An email notification. It was a message my mom accidentally forwarded to me. Subject line: Booking confirmation, Aspen Mountain Resort. I opened it. 4 tickets. Luxury suite. Private ski instructor. Total cost: $42,000. I stared at the number. Then I looked around my basement. Peeling paint, secondhand furniture, a tiny lamp that flickered every time the heater turned on. And suddenly, a thought hit me. Why had every landlord rejected my apartment applications for the past 5 years? Why had every bank denied my loan requests? I opened a credit report website. 5 minutes later, my hands were shaking. 3 credit cards, all in my name. Total balance: $73,000. My parents had been using my identity for nearly 10 years. Flights, furniture, luxury shopping, vacations. All charged to me. In that moment, everything made sense. The rejected applications, the strange bank calls, The way my parents always insisted I stay home for family. I wasn't their daughter. I was their financial safety net. And that night, lying in my basement room staring at the ceiling, I made a decision. For the first time in my life, I was done being the quiet one. 2 weeks later, my parents returned from Aspen glowing with vacation happiness. They didn't ask how I was. They asked why the driveline wasn't shoveled. Classic. But something had changed. I wasn't the same girl anymore. Because while they were sipping champagne in the mountains, I was meeting with a lawyer. And together we built a plan. Not revenge, justice. New Year's Day arrived. My parents hosted their usual fancy brunch. 40 guests. Business partners, neighbors, social club friends. The living room smelled like expensive perfume and fresh pastries. My mom smiled like the perfect hostess. "Where's Evelyn?" someone asked. "She's resting," my mom replied sweetly. "Poor thing works too much." At exactly 10:30, the doorbell rang. My dad opened the door. And there I was, standing in the doorway. Black blazer, calm expression, Daisy sitting beside me, and a thick folder in my hands. The room went silent. I walked in slowly. "Morning," I said. My mom rushed toward me. "Evelyn, honey, we were worried." I stepped back. "I'm good," I said. Then I placed the folder on the table. "Actually, I brought something for you." My dad frowned. "What is this?" I looked him straight in the eyes. "An invoice." He laughed. "For what?" "For 20 years of unpaid labor." The room froze. My mom's smile vanished. I opened the folder. Documents slid across the table. Calculations. Contracts. Credit reports. Evidence. Cooking. Cleaning. Taking care of grandma. I said calmly. Total value? $392,000. My dad's face turned red. "This is insane." "Oh," I said quietly. "Then maybe we should talk about the $73,000 in credit card debt you put in my name." Someone gasped. A woman dropped her champagne glass. The truth had entered the room, and it was louder than any scream. My mom collapsed into a chair. My dad looked like someone had punched him in the chest. For the first time in 30 years, they had no script. And that was when I realized something powerful. Silence protects abusers. But truth burns their whole illusion down. I wasn't there for revenge. I wasn't there for money. I was there for something much more important. Freedom. I clipped Daisy's leash, looked at my parents one last time, and said the words they never expected to hear. "I'm done being invisible." Then I walked out, into the cold January sunlight. And for the first time in my life, I felt warm. Because sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop begging people to love you and start building a life without them. And trust me, the moment you do that, your real life finally begins. So let me ask you something before you go. Have you ever had to walk away from someone who was supposed to love you? If you have, then you know exactly how that moment feels. And if this story touched your heart, drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because the next story I'm about to tell is even crazier than this one.